Hello and welcome to the topic, what is the difference between micro functions of language and macro functions of language? Let's discuss about this concept. There are two different aspects of studying functions of language. The first one is micro aspects of functions of language, and the second one is macro aspects of functions of language. Micro aspects of functions of language may also be known as general aspects of functions of language. Likewise, macro aspects of functions of language may also be known as meta aspects of functions of language. Okay, now we move on to the idea of what is micro or general aspects of functions of language. It refers to the way we use language in our day-to-day social life, day-to-day social activities. Undoubtedly, we use language for a variety of purposes in our day-to-day life, such as greeting people. We greet people when we meet anywhere, anytime. Passing the time of day with friends. Of course, language helps us pass time with our friends in many different ways. Buying bus tickets, not only bus tickets, buying anything. You go to shop, you buy things, you use language. So this could be the micro aspect of the function of language. Likewise, reading newspapers, books, a lot of things, a lot of activities we do in our day-to-day life with the help of language. And all these aspects may be known as the micro aspects of the functions of language. And you know, George Finch, 1998, he lists 7 general micro functions of language in a very beautiful manner, and they are very comprehensive. The first one is physiological function, next fatigue function, recording function, identifying function, a reasoning function, communicating function, and pleasure function. In this lecture, I'm not going to talk about each function in detail, but later I will take up all of these functions in detail. Now we move on to the macro or meta aspects of functions of language. The term meta is adopted to suggest that function is intrinsic to language. In other words, we can say that function is an integral component within the overall theory of language. That is to say, the entire architecture of language is arranged along functional lines. That is why we say meta aspects of functions claims that both the emergence of grammar and the particular forms that grammars take should be explained in terms of the functions that language is evolved to serve. Briefly, what here we mean is that macro or meta aspects of functions of language, they put function as intrinsic part of the interpretation or studying any aspect of language. That is the basically idea about the macro, what we say meta. And you know, meta aspects of functions of language or macro aspects of functions of language, this area belongs to Halliday's idea of meta functions of language. And Halliday has described 3 macro meta functions of language very beautifully, and that is ideational metafunction, second is interpersonal metafunction, and the third is textual metafunction. I'm not going to talk each one of them here in detail, but at a later stage in my next video I will talk in detail about what George Finch has listed micro aspects of metafunctions of language, and Halliday's metafunctions of language I will separately discuss. Okay, hope you understand the concept. Thank you and goodbye.